Hmm. So, 20 years since Avatar: The Last Airbender came a show. Well, I guess you already know, I already talked about The Last Airbender movie. I'm not talking about the live action show. But there's one show I will talk about. Oh yeah. There's one show I will talk about. And I think it's the kind of point I want to make. Legend of Korra. I am going to come out and say this. I think Legend of Korra is overrated. Yeah. Oh, everybody agrees with me. Wow. Everyone agrees with me on this one. Well, thank you for that. But now, let me talk about Legend of Korra. I'm sorry to tell you guys this, but the reason why I think Legend of Korra is so overrated, and if you agree with me, that's fine. But if you're a fan of Legend of Korra of the show, what? Which I doubt most of you are, or maybe some of you are, or maybe I'm wrong or right. I have to say this about Legend of Korra. Legend of Korra, the characters, some of them suck! I just have to get that out there. Mainly Korra, mainly Mako. But you want to know who the ones I do think I like the most, who are only the good parts of the show? That is basically 4 people. And I could include 5, but we're only going to focus on the 4. Tenzin, Bolin, Asami, and Lin Bangfang. And for only the best villain, I'm going to have to say Amon. Now, Steve Bloom, if you're watching this, you know, you still do a great job voicing this character. And I think you're the only good villain character on the show. All the rest of the characters I can't really rally behind. Aang's grandchildren, well, it's Nickelodeon, so of course you're going to have a lot of poop and fart jokes. And I guess booger jokes. Yeah, so yeah, you're Nickelodeon, so you're known for this type of stuff. But I mean, I can care less about, you know, that. Actually, tell you the truth, Aang's grandchildren aren't really that bad characters. It's just a lot of, you know, immature jokes. Poop, fart, mucus jokes, or whatever. To tell you the truth, most of Aang's family, even when they do have Katara as an old lady, they're still good. I do like the characters, the other Tenzin's character, well, relative characters, Boomy and Kaya, which they reference off other characters from the Avatar: The Last Airbender show. Yeah. I'm sorry to tell you this. Let's not praise Legend of Korra too much, because I'm going to have to say this. Korra sucks! I mean it. Korra really sucks! Now you're probably saying, oh, why? Because she's a woman? No! I don't hate Korra because she's a woman. I hate Korra because she just plain sucks! As a character, as a developing character, and just the one thing I just can't, I mean, okay. Aang was basically 12 years old in Avatar: The Last Airbender. Avatar: The Last Airbender, he was a kid! But freaking Korra, she's a teenager. And she learns in the first season 3 of the elements. 3! Water, earth, fire, and last but not least, airbending she has to learn. And to tell you the truth, I love the first season. The first season of Legend of Korra. The whole starting of Korra going to Republic City to be the defender. And in the end, she learns airbending and she somehow restores people's bending in that sort of way. But the whole thing with Korra, I just can't rally behind, is she loses all the time. I mean, okay, say what you want about Aang and the rest of the other guys. Like, I mean, they didn't really lose. I mean, they lost maybe a few times. But there were times where they did technically kind of win. Or it just ends in a draw, or it just ends with them running away, or just getting away from the bad guys, or they know they're beat, but they know they don't have, the skill to win. So they just, retreat. Korra, she just straight up loses just like that. Like, she tries to fight someone and she ends up losing. Like with Aang, he didn't lose because, he's a kid. Aang, mostly didn't lose most fights because he knew he was going to lose. Like the part where, alright, my favorite episode would be the chase. That's when Azula's posse are chasing down Aang, Katara, Sokka, and Toph and them. And the reason why they left, because they're exhausted. They're exhausted. They're trying to get a good night's sleep. And Azula, being the unstoppable, trying to, still hunt them down when they're exhausted. And just like, they're tired. So it's like literally beating someone like when they're asleep. Like, they're not gonna know what's happened. Have you ever woke up asleep, felt beaten up? Yeah, exactly. But yes, the whole thing with Aang and them, Aang knew he had to go up against Azula. He wanted to lure Azula to a place where he can fight her. And he had to use his smarts. Even when he was fighting against Zuko. Yeah, well, even when he was fighting against Zuko, like he knew he was up against 2 professionals, somewhat professionals, like against, he knew he was going against 2 firebenders, 1 professional, 1 sort of professional. And it's like he knew he was going to lose somehow. Or find a way to escape, or find a way to, slip away. But with Korra, she just straight up lose. Like, he's like, hey, I'm gonna fight you. Hey, I'm still gonna fight you. I'm gonna fight you. Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. It looks like she goes in a fight, she loses, and it's like with the episode where they do the tournament thing, the pro bending tournament thing. And in the end, when it comes to the tournament thing, the big prize winning thing, they still lose. They lose to a bunch of cheaters. And with the whole thing with Aang, getting zapped by Azula, he didn't know she was going to do that. The whole thing with Aang, he knows if he found out if he's killed in the Avatar state, the whole Avatar cycle dies. Which is why when, the bounty hunter chick with the creature that can sense people's senses says, your friend's gone. We know he's gone. That's why we're trying to find him. No, I mean he's gone. He doesn't exist. And Sokka's like, what do you mean Aang doesn't exist? You mean he's dead? No, we can find him. He was dead. I know, it's a big head scratcher. But yeah, getting back on point. Aang he knew turning into the Avatar state would lead him to, yes, be more vulnerable. I mean, if you're that vulnerable, it's like literally it's literally trying to find the needle that's obviously standing in the big giant haystack that's sticking up on the top of the haystack. You're gonna get found and you're gonna get taken out just like that. Like, it's that easy. But with Azula taking down Aang, it's like she's not taking Aang down because, oh, Aang, you know, yeah, Aang doesn't know. I mean, yeah, that's the whole point of Azula's character. She knows when you're at your weakest, and she kills you, and that's it. But with this, with Legend of Korra, like, Korra seems to lose almost every single fight. I mean, with the tournament thing, you know, she does a good job in some parts. But the whole thing with Korra, she just loses a lot. And it's not a fun lose. It's not, like, I know to some people, Felix and Calhoun would probably say losing Bill's character. But there's a good reason why losing Bill's character, because if you lose just like to the point of fact that you had no idea what you were doing, that doesn't build character. It makes you look like a dumbass. And also the whole thing with, you know, Mako, like, you just had a fun time with Bolin. And tell me if those of you find this scene hilarious when Bolin sees Korra kiss Mako.
Great! Look what you did!
You're blaming me?
You kissed me!
You kissed me back! Well played, Korra.
Like, girl, you just had a fun time with his brother and you gotta say you had a kiss? I'm like, and even with the whole thing with Asami, okay, I can understand you. Actually, no, let me go into one last thing about Korra before I go into the other characters. I tried watching season 2 of Legend of Korra. Let me take my sunglasses off. I could not watch this damn thing. I swear to God, I could not watch this damn thing. Everything that Korra does in this whole entire, practically this whole entire season 2, I freaking hate her now. I'm like, what happened to the character I saw in the first season? No, really, what happened to the character I saw in the first season? Like, Korra was growing some likability. Yeah, she lost a few times, but at least she was trying to at least be likable. This character, I'm like, you remember that one scene when Korra is introduced to Mako and Bolin after their match? Then, you know, Bolin tries to teach her how to do pro bending. Then she does, you know, she practices one thing. And Mako's like, not bad. And Korra's like, what's it take to impress this guy? And Mako's like, what? I said not bad. Like, you had to do that in every damn scene? In season 2? I'm like, I understand couples have disagreements, have a huge disagreement, but the whole thing about... Oh God, I'm drooling. Good Lord, I'm drooling. The whole thing with Korra, she's just being a... Well, I might as well say it. She's being a bitch! Like, she's really being a bitch! I mean, most of the time, I think in the first season, she was enjoying being a bitch. I mean, yeah, like I just imitated the scene with her kissing Mako. But you don't even realize Mako is with Asami? Like Asami. Like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna let you guys know. A beautiful woman like that hits me with her motorbike. Yeah, that would really. I'm like, oh, I got hit by this beautiful thing? Holy shit, I got lucky. If I got hit by a moped, by a Sami, hey, Zaf, go ahead and say it.
Yes! Oh, thank you, Lord in heaven.
Either way, Korra is just awful. And not, I mean, seeing some of the later episodes, like when she causes the Avatar cycle to be demolished, and how now she's the last Avatar, and somehow I'm guessing in season 4 she restores the rest of the Avatars, or unless I'm wrong, leave a comment down below if I'm wrong. I have to rewatch it again because I just couldn't watch much of season 3 or much of season 4 because I just can't get rallied behind with Korra because I think she loses so many times. It's not funny. Like, it's really not funny to me. Like, with Aang and them, like let's say, minus Aang, but let's say Katara. Katara, yeah, I know, you're probably saying, oh, Katara, she's kind of boring. But no, I think Katara is actually a better character than Korra. Katara, to be honest with you, she gets better in Avatar. She gets way, way better than Avatar. In the Avatar series, sorry. The episode where she was about to fight a stronger waterbender, and she knows she's going to lose. But she didn't care. She wanted to make a point. But in the end, she obviously doesn't win, but she discovers, oh, Paku is actually was going to marry my gran. But here's the thing. Katara in the later episodes alright, I know when she started with the first season of Avatar: The Last Airbender, she was pretty much the girl who has to be rescued, or may rescue herself, or maybe sometimes get rescued by somebody. Yes. But in the later episodes, she starts becoming more independent when you think about it. And yeah, the episode where she's going after the guy who killed her mom, there ain't nothing stopping her. She uses bloodbending. But now with Korra, she just loses a lot. And that'd be, now besides Korra, Mako. Mako, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think he's that good of a character. I think when he meets Korra, you kind of get this thing like, oh, they hate each other at first, but then they're gonna end up loving each other. Yeah, I know probably they'll say that. But I'm sorry to tell you this, Mako is kind of a dick. Still breeding the brooding teen. I mean, I don't hate Mako that much. But I think his character has a lot of flaws. Like, a serious amount of flaws. But, I mean, Bolin, to be honest, Bolin seems more likable and seems like more like a fun guy. Mako, he's more like that high school teen that's kind of the brooding type. I wouldn't say he's emo, but with that scarf, he's a little emo. But yeah, but even though Mako, the whole thing about his character is he's supposed to be perfect. Later episodes, they don't show how perfect he is. Like, really not that perfect. And how do you, I mean, come on. Now, let me know, I'm going to go into his relationship with Korra and Asami. Why would you not choose Asami? I'm not saying Korra's butt-ass ugly. She's gorgeous. But good God, Asami, she is just the silky hair, the gorgeously flawless face, the fact that she looks great in black. I need to get more women in black bikinis on my wall. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. And this whole thing with Korra and Asami winding up. Hold on. Stewie!
Oh, hang on. Spoiler alert! Okay.
Thank you. Those of you who have not seen the final episode, which I'm guessing you probably may or may have not have seen, or maybe you probably have seen it, and thinking, oh well, it's just that thing that we're doing these days, nowadays. Yeah. Korra and Asami.
Now power up and kiss it, ladies!
Yeah. They're now a couple. Where did this come from? I don't know. But all I can tell you, Tenzin and his family, I just kind of wish it was more about Tenzin, seeing how he is the son of Aang, representing the arrow, still teaching airbending, being kind of the only powerful airbender that can go up against. And all I can just tell you, the villains, they suck. They don't work for me. Like I said, Amon, he's the only villain I think that is actually better because he's an unstoppable force. But yes, he does come. This one flaw I will mention: why would you waterbend when you know people could probably see you in the area? Why would you fell in the water? Why would you suddenly start waterbending? Oh. And also, Tarloff. I don't know if it's me. Maybe it is me. But I'm gonna have to say this. You know that weirdo guy in Street Fighter 3 through Street Fighter 6? You know who I'm talking about. I mean, I know there's a lot of weird characters in Street Fighter, but I am talking about the white-haired guy in the homemade tighty-whitey Speedo. You know who I'm talking about. Urine. I'm sorry to tell you this, but every time I look at Tarloff, he just looks like Urine from Street Fighter. Like, he really looks like Urine from Street Fighter. Have him to cut the 3 ponytails off, make his hair white, get him a homemade tighty-whitey Speedo. You have Urine. Have him walk around half freaking naked the whole entire time and just give him that damn Speedo. Like, he looks like Urine. Urine, or how you say his name, you know who I'm talking about. The freaking weirdo guy from a cult who wears a homemade tighty-whitey Speedo. Or thong, or whatever the hell you want to call it. I don't give a flying hell about it. He just looks like that character. But tell me I really like this one scene from season 1 with one of Tenzin's kids who cracks jokes about Tarloff.
Why you have 3 ponytails? Why you smell like a lady? You're weird.
In the end, in the end of that part, she's like,
Bye-bye, ponytail man!
But anyways, yeah. Yeah, all the other villains, I don't really think they're likable or even memorable. But let me just tell you, what did you remember from the Avatar villains in the whole entire show? You remember Zuko, who's on and off as the villain. You remember Zhao, you remember Azula, the Fire Lord, the Dai Li, that one Earth commander who tried to force Aang into the Avatar state, that old man who rats out, one of the kids out. You know that one episode where Katara tells the Airbender kid to save this one old man. The old man, sells him out. And also, what else did you remember? You also remember Long Fang. You also remember the guy who killed Katara's, mom, that 61-year-old guy who still lived with his mom. Yeah, remember all those other characters. Why can I not remember some of these other villains in Legend of Korra? And you know what? I can just say this right now. The first season of Legend of Korra, I know you're not going to like what I'm going to say, but I'm going to have to say it's the Force Awakens of Avatar. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to say that. And how the rest of the season 2, 3, and 4 are the Last Jedi, Solo, A Star Wars Story, and Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, you kind of get what I'm saying. I'm sorry to tell you this. I mean, the only thing that's good is, like I said, like Lin Beifeng being Top's daughter, and now since I brought that up, no reunion, no Katara, Zuko. Yeah, Zuko is technically alive in this season, and Toph. 3 king Avatar characters that we like. Now, I can understand Sokka is dead. I can understand that Aang is dead. And somehow, obviously, Suki is also dead. I'm sorry to tell you this, but why no reunion? That would be a great thing. Like, that would be a great thing, seeing a reunion, seeing Zuko, Katara, and Toph all together in one scene saying, hey, remember those times when we were young? We used to, do our little thing? Yeah. But yeah, I'm just sorry to tell you, Legend of Korra is overrated. The characters aren't exactly what you expect from the original characters. I know you're going to tell me these are not the continuing characters. These are different characters. I understand these are different characters, but you grew to like those characters in Avatar. You grew to like Aang, Sokka, Katara, Toph, Zuko, Suki, and other characters. You enjoy seeing Azula get beaten by both Zuko and Katara. You enjoy seeing Aang not really killing the Fire Lord, but taking his bending away. And I know for this season, or this series, you want to take it up to a new notch. But what's with all these Megazords, Mecha suits? I mean, I know this is technically, well, not really an anime, but I'm just saying this doesn't. I mean, like, when we started having technology like this in the 1930s or 40s or something like that? It just looks like you wanted to mix the 1940s with technology that we would probably have in the next God knows how many years for right now. For right now, is what I'm saying. But either way, Legend of Korra, it's nothing special. I'll try to watch more of the episodes so I can try to get more in some of them, but I don't know if I can, to be honest. And now to end everything off, I'll end it off with one certain other scene that does make me laugh, because it does have Aang in it, for one thing. What are you doing here, Aang? I told you to have things under control. After all the witnesses who saw what they saw, I think I should be a part of this. Fine. Come with me, Twinkle Toes. I'm 40 years old, okay? Can you give it up with the nicknames? Afraid not. But either way, just stick with Avatar. Yeah. My mom would probably agree with me on that, because not even she's a fan of Legend of Korra. She thinks it's an alright show, but it's not this. It's really not this. So that's why I can say stick with Avatar: The Last Airbender, and that's it. Vertical Spy, outro. And one last comment I want to mention. The person you see in the end of this video is the real Steve Bloom. Voice of Spike, Tom, and many other voice acting characters he's done. So definitely listen to him when he says, Steve?
Yo, Steve Bloom here, voice of Spike Spiegel. Remember to subscribe and get vertical.